Chapter 380. At the entrance of Cloud Manor, Pei Nanxiu had wanted to give his brother and Lin Yan a chance to be alone, so he had planned to return the next day. However, in the middle of the night, he had suddenly received news from the specialist team that his brother's vitals had started to break through the threshold. How could something have happened to Big Brother? Lin Yan was at home. He had left because he knew that Big Brother would be fine with Lin Yan around. He hadn't expected the specialist to call him. Pei Nanxiu had no choice but to rush back in the middle of the night. He had called Lin Yan on the way, but Lin Yan had probably fallen asleep. Her phone had been switched off, and no one had picked up. When he arrived, apart from a group of experts and professors, Qin Huan and Xing Chen were also there. What happened? Pei Nanxiu asked, panting heavily. Qin Huan looked perplexed. I don't know. His condition had stabilized for a day and a night. We thought that it was getting better, but it suddenly started again. It has been going on for a long time and it hasn't stopped yet. Second young master, why aren't you by his side? Given Brother Yu's condition, how can he leave us? Pei Nanxiu replied anxiously, Miss Lin is with my brother, so I thought that everything would be fine. Qin Huan, who was startled, exclaimed, Miss Lin? Are you talking about Lin Yan? Did she stay at Brother Yu's place tonight? Pei Nanxiu replied, they are currently staying together. Qin Huan's face lit up with joy. Not only have they gotten back together, but they are also living together. Are they living together? Are you serious? Isn't that great? In that case, Brother Yu should be fine with Lin Yan, who was a powerful stabilizer. What is going on? Has Lin Yan's stabilizer worked? Pei Nanxiu shook his head. I just came back, so I don't know what's going on. Miss Lin's phone has been switched off, so I don't know what's going on inside. When Pei Yucheng acted up, no one except Lin Yan could get close to him. That was because he could lose control of his powers at any time. Besides, they might agitate him if they were around him. Therefore, without knowing the situation, they did not dare to rashly go in. When Xing Chen heard this, he bit the lollipop in his mouth and looked a little suspicious. At this moment, one of the doctors held a black instrument the size of a cell phone in one hand and a special gray box in the other. He said in a low voice, this situation is too dangerous. We must immediately give young master a stabilizer injection. Pei Nanxiu stared at the box in the doctor's hands and frowned. Professor Tan, didn't you say that this stabilizer has a lot of side effects? Qin Huan chimed in, yeah, Brother Yu's body is already weak. How can he take it if he registers now? Xing Chen quipped, that shouldn't be the case. As long as Miss Lin is around, Brother Yu won't lose control. There has never been an exception. Unless, Pei Nanxiu understood what Xing Chen meant and immediately explained, they have been very close recently. Before I left, my brother was still cooking dinner for Miss Lin. Qin Huan looked horrified. Brother Yu is cooking for Lin Yan? How could you let Brother Yu cook for that woman? Finished, finished, finished. That woman will definitely break up with Brother Yu after eating his cooking. Chapter 381. Pei Nanxiu coughed softly. Miss Lin ate my brother's cooking last time. At that time, she chose to hide it, just like us. She didn't seem unhappy with my brother because of it. Qin Huan fell silent for a long time before he sighed. I didn't expect that woman to love Brother Yu. Xing Chen frowned. Don't talk nonsense. We should think about what to do now. Should we inject the stabilizer or not? Qin Huan and Pei Nanxiu fell silent when they heard Xing Chen. Even though Pei Nanxiu was Pei Yucheng's biological brother, he couldn't make such a big decision. Qin Huan muttered under his breath, I think it's better not to inject him. In the past, whenever Boss was injected with stabilizers, he was tormented half to death. Professor Tan glanced at Qin Huan with displeasure. Then, he turned to Pei Nanxiu and said sternly, "Second young master, please open the door and let us in. Eldest young master needs to be injected with the stabilizer immediately. Even if the stabilizer has side effects, it's better than losing his life. Given eldest young master's current condition, he will be in danger even if we delay it for another minute. Chairman Pei has ordered us to inject the stabilizer into eldest young master as soon as possible. As for that woman, she can at most affect Mr. Pei's emotions and temporarily delay the onset of an attack. How can she replace the stabilizer?" Pei Nanxiu was a little shaken by Professor Tan's words. "So, what are the side effects of this newly developed stabilizer?" Professor Tan replied, "The side effects we know are similar to the previous ones. It may affect the body's defense mechanism and cause damage to the immune system. In addition, there will be a certain degree of ulceration. Eldest young master's illness was too sudden, so we haven't done the final tests on the newly developed stabilizer. So, we can't predict the other side effects for now." "What?" Pei Nanxiu's expression darkened. The damage to the immune system was serious enough. What more could there be? So many unpredictable situations. However, just as Professor Tan had said, staying alive was more important, Qin Huan chimed in. "Old Tan, don't blame me for being blunt. The problem is that the stabilizer you developed didn't seem to be very effective. Brother Yu's wretched watch was beeping every other day. It was basically temporary and didn't last at all. Plus, there are a lot of side effects, which tormented Brother Yu." When Professor Tan heard that, he was so angry that his beard almost curled up. "What do you know, you little brat? Do you know how much effort we spent on these stabilizers? I dare say that other than the laboratory I lead, there is absolutely no one else who can develop it. If it wasn't for me, eldest young master's body wouldn't have lasted this long." Qin Huan rubbed his nose and muttered, "I'm telling the truth. Look at you, you're even angry. Your product isn't as natural and harmless as Lin Yan's stabilizer. Professor Tan, you little brat. Since you said that the woman is more effective than my stabilizer, why did eldest young master still act up when she's by his side?" Qin Huan touched his chin. "Well, even though we are living together. But..." Qin Huan glanced at Pei Nanxiu. "Second young master, is she sleeping with Brother Yu?" Chapter 382. Pei Nanxiu looked awkward as he coughed softly. "No, they slept in separate rooms." Qin Huan snapped his fingers and said, "That's right. I thought they were sleeping together. It's not like we're staying together all the time. If it's acting up, it's because we're not close enough to the stabilizer." Pei Nanxiu was speechless, although Qin Huan's words were a little reasonable. In the end, Pei Nanxiu led all the experts into the room. On the other hand, Lin Yan was still sleeping soundly on the bed. Lin Yan had been sleeping soundly when her phone rang. She instinctively switched it off because it was too noisy. When she finally snapped out of her daze, she was worried that Zhao Hongling had something urgent to discuss with her. Hence, she switched on her phone again. There were a few missed calls from Pei Nanxiu. Why was Pei Nanxiu looking for her in the middle of the night? She was puzzled when she saw a group of people standing at the door. Pei Nanxiu was among them. What was going on? Lin Yan didn't have time to think. She hastily got out of bed and rushed to the door. Lin Yan had just stepped out of the room when she bumped into Pei Nanxiu and the others. Pei Nanxiu rushed forward when he saw Lin Yan. "Miss Lin. Are you all right?" "Huh. I'm fine." "Mr. Pei, why did you call me so urgently?" "Sorry, I was sleeping and turned off my phone in a daze." "Why are you guys here so late at night?" Lin Yan's eyes darted to Qin Huan, Xing Chen, and the expert suspiciously. She knew Qin Huan and Xing Chen. She had seen them before, but the girl in black was missing. Qin Huan hastily pushed Pei Nanxiu aside and rushed forward. Sister-in-law. Lin Yan was speechless as she stared at the man who had suddenly approached her. Who was he? Qin Huan said, Sister-in-law, Brother Yu's condition is very dangerous. Do you know what's happening to him? Lin Yan's expression changed instantly. Dangerous? How could that be? After we finished dinner, we went to bed separately. There was nothing wrong. Hey! How could you guys go to bed? Qin Huan sounded distressed. Lin Yan replied, Huh? What did that mean? Qin Huan coughed softly. What I mean is. Anyway, Brother Yu's condition is very dangerous. Take a look yourself. As Qin Huan spoke, she took out the phone-sized device from the professor's hand and showed it to her. She saw that the curve on the device was extremely high, and the red light on the device was still shockingly bright. Then why are you guys still standing here? Hurry up and go in. Lin Yan looked exasperated. She had almost kicked him in. This girl is right. If you continue to spout nonsense, young master's life will really be in danger. All of you, get out of my way. The white-haired old man said angrily. Qin Huan hurriedly stopped them. Big sister-in-law, you can't let them go. Medicine that can suppress Brother Yu's condition has severe side effects. It's best not to take it. Lin Yan looked disapproving. What kind of logic is that? If you don't take medicine when you're sick, what should you take? Even if the side effects were great, it was still better than losing his life, right? Of course, we should listen to the doctor. End of update, Mwax. Chapter 383. Sister-in-law, don't believe these old men's nonsense. The medicine they developed for Brother Yu is no different from poison. They only care about completing their mission and temporarily suppressing his illness. They don't care about how much suffering Brother Yu will suffer. That kind of life is neither human nor ghost. Even coming into contact with the air can be dangerous. Can that still be called living? Qin Huan said anxiously. Ignorant lad. What do you know? How dare you spout nonsense here? Professor Tan was infuriated. This lad had repeatedly questioned their painstaking research. He was simply too arrogant. The other experts behind him began to reprimand him as well. We are the professionals. If you want young master's well-being, get out of the way. That's right. Otherwise, can you bear the responsibility if anything happens to him? No matter how serious the side effects of the medicine are, is it more important than his life? Lin Yan's head was throbbing, but Qin Huan's words bothered her. She hesitated before she asked Qin Huan, other than taking the medicine, do you have any other solution? Qin Huan replied immediately, yes, yes, yes. As long as you sleep with Brother Yu. I mean, as long as you stay within Brother Yu's line of sight, everything will be fine. If you can touch him, that would be even better. Lin Yan was speechless. Lin Yan was exasperated. What was going on? After a moment of silence, Lin Yan said solemnly, I think the doctor's words are more reliable. After all, Qin Huan seemed to be a lunatic. Even though Pei Yucheng's illness was highly affected by his emotions and she could calm him down at times, he was in such a dangerous situation. How could she be so childish? Did he really think she was a ginseng doll? Oh my God! Sister-in-law, why don't you believe me? Your brother used medicine. You're more useful than any tranquilizer, stabilizer, or any other random drug. You rascal! How dare you say that the medicine I developed is a mess? Lin Yan's expression hardened when she saw that they were about to start arguing again. All of you, shut up. I'm going in to check on Mr. Pei. What? No way. This is too dangerous. At this time, no one is allowed to get close to young master. Before the professor could finish, Lin Yan strode to Pei Yucheng's bedroom. Before anyone could react, she turned the key and walked in. Pei Nanxiu was shocked. He wanted to stop her, but it was too late. Professor Tan was also stunned. This young lady. Do you want to die? Anyone who dared to approach Pei Yucheng now would either die or be seriously injured. Even when they injected him with the stabilizer, they had to use a special device to control it, but now that things had come to this, everyone could only watch as the girl recklessly barged in. Then, they all stared nervously at the flashing red device in Professor Tan's hand. When Lin Yan walked in, she didn't see the mess that she had expected. It wasn't as terrifying as the people outside had described. The whole room was quiet except for the faint sound of the watch alarm coming from the head of the bed. Pei Yucheng was sleeping soundly on the bed, however, at this moment, the man's expression was not normal. His forehead was covered in sweat, and he looked like he was in pain. His breathing became more and more rapid, as if he was experiencing something extremely terrifying. Chapter 384. Lin Yan hastily took a few steps forward. The moment she got close, the man on the bed opened his eyes abruptly. Lin Yan had never seen such a terrifying pair of eyes in the night. They were extremely cold, like a bloodthirsty beast that could destroy everything at any time. An immense sense of oppression filled the room, making Lin Yan's scalp go numb. She stood rooted to the ground, not daring to take another step forward. At the same time, the watch on Pei Yucheng's wrist seemed to be stimulated by something as it began to ring rapidly. The sound made her hair stand on end. It was as though it was a sign of impending danger. Fear surged in the depths of Lin Yan's mind. Her first reaction was to run away from the man and the danger before her. However, Pei Yucheng's gaze became even more frightening the moment this thought popped into her mind. Lin Yan forced herself to calm down. Pei Yucheng seemed to be having a nightmare. He had been woken up by her abruptly, so he hadn't recognized her. So she had to calm down. Calm down. Don't be afraid. She had a vague feeling that her fearful attitude would agitate the man. She recalled the gentle way the man had always treated her. She recalled how Pei Yucheng had said that he couldn't bear to part with her, how he had asked her what reward she wanted, and how he had told her that she looked very beautiful on the competition stage. Lin Yan shut her eyes and forced herself not to retreat. Instead, she stood rooted to the ground and mustered her courage. Mr. Pei, in the room where only the sound of the alarm could be heard, the girl's soft voice was like a faint ray of light in a dark swamp. Pei Yucheng's cold eyes flickered as he snapped back to his senses. Following that, those terrifying eyes gradually regained their focus, and his gaze slowly fell on the girl in front of him. Mr. Pei, how are you feeling? Are you all right? Lin Yan frowned as she watched the man sit up slowly. However, Lin Yan didn't hear the man's reply. Pei Yucheng was like a beast that had no emotions or reason. In a split second, he had appeared beside Lin Yan. Lin Yan and Pei Yucheng's eyes met. Pei Yucheng's eyes were as mesmerizing as the stars in the sky. However, Lin Yan didn't have the time to admire his eyes now. His eyes were so cold and terrifying that it made one feel suffocated. Lin Yan wanted to break into a run when she met his cold, piercing gaze. Mr. Pei. Are you all right? Lin Yan glanced at him as she tried to calm herself down. Before Lin Yan could react, Pei Yucheng suddenly extended his hand and grabbed her right arm. Lin Yan broke out in a cold sweat when she sensed the man's strength. Was this man trying to rip her arm off? Wasn't this relationship a little too deadly? Pei, before Lin Yan could respond, Pei Yucheng's eyes gleamed coldly. Boom! In the next second, the people outside the room heard a loud noise coming from inside the room. What happened? Pei Nanxiu's expression changed slightly as he prepared to charge into the room. However, before he could do anything, Qin Huan pulled him back. Second young master. Hold on. Chapter 385. It's so dark and windy. Qin Huan stared at Pei Nanxiu and smiled faintly. It's so dark and windy. A man, a widow, and a woman are in the same room. Ahem. They must be communicating their feelings. It's a little too loud. I understand. Second young master, don't cause trouble. Pei Nanxiu was speechless. How could they be trying to get to know each other? Meanwhile, in the room, Pei Yucheng strolled beside the bed, looking as though he was searching for something. Lin Yan hid under the desk and covered her mouth. She didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Fortunately, she had broken free in time. Otherwise, wouldn't Pei Yucheng's kick have killed her? Besides, Lin Yan had never imagined that Pei Yucheng would be so terrifying. Before Lin Yan could think further, she saw a pair of dark eyes staring at her. Lin Yan had been hiding under the desk. She hadn't expected that Pei Yucheng, who seemed unconscious, would be able to react quickly and discover her. Mr. Pei, before Lin Yan could finish speaking, Pei Yucheng had smashed the wooden desk into the air. A second later, Pei Yucheng reached out to grab Lin Yan. Damn it! Lin Yan gritted her teeth. Although she didn't know what had happened, Pei Yucheng wasn't acting normally. She didn't have time to hesitate. She threw a punch at Pei Yucheng, hoping that she could force him to retreat so that she could escape. Also, couldn't those idiots outside hear what was going on inside the room? There wasn't a single person in sight. Bang! Lin Yan threw a punch, but Pei Yucheng grabbed it instantly. Pei Yucheng's palm was like a mountain. No matter how hard Lin Yan tried, she couldn't break free. She was doomed. She was doomed. However, just as Lin Yan thought that she was doomed, she sensed Pei Yucheng's terrifying strength retreating when he touched her palm. His cold gaze seemed to regain its warmth. Instinctively, Lin Yan fidgeted with the man's hand and called out, "Mr. Pei?" Pei Yucheng gently squeezed the girl's hand, and the hostility in his body dissipated like the receding tide. Lin Yan was pleasantly surprised to see that he had finally woken up. Even the silver watch on his wrist had stopped beeping, as though nothing had happened. At this moment, she suddenly remembered what the man with the white tulip in his chest pocket had said to her when she was outside. Could it be that she had really influenced Pei Yucheng that much? It was one thing for it to affect his emotions, but it could also treat and save people? This was too inconceivable. No matter what, she recalled the few times she had interacted with Pei Yucheng. That seemed to be the case, Mr. Pei. It's me. Did you have a nightmare? Lin Yan tried her best to sound gentle. Pei Yucheng studied the girl before him, who was wearing pajamas and slippers. She stood awkwardly a few steps away from him, not knowing whether to move forward or retreat. Miss Lin? Yes. It's me. It's me. Lin Yan heaved a sigh of relief when she heard Pei Yucheng's voice. Pei Yucheng released the girl's hand and pinched his eyebrows. What's wrong? Air. Ahem. Air. Lin Yan scratched her head, at a loss for words. Should she say that there was chaos outside and that she had been forced to rush in to see if he was dead? In the end, she had fought with him. Besides, Lin Yan wasn't sure if Pei Yucheng had completely calmed down, hence, Lin Yan said, "Mr. Pei, didn't you say that if I was afraid to sleep alone at night, I could look for you?" Lin Yan raised her head and blinked at the man. "I'm afraid." Chapter 386. She was afraid. She was really afraid, hence, there was no need for Lin Yan to feign fear. Pei Yucheng was startled when he heard her. The last trace of gloominess in his eyes vanished completely, and his cold gaze melted bit by bit. Lin Yan mustered her courage and said, "Sorry, I shouldn't have barged in. Did I disturb you?" Pei Yucheng's face was sickly pale, and there were dark shadows under his eyes. He seemed to be in a trance, and he looked unusually weak. He looked completely different from his violent self earlier. Lin Yan hesitated when she saw him. She wondered if she should escape while Pei Yucheng let his guard down. Otherwise, if he were to lose control later, she would really be in a relationship that would cost her life. It was all Pei Yutang's fault. He had always instilled in her that Pei Yucheng was weak. She had almost forgotten how he had slapped the girl in black when he had lost control. Pei Yucheng must have been the culprit behind the mess in the nightclub. What a sin! What kind of dangerous place was she staying in? At this thought, Lin Yan made up her mind. She grabbed Pei Yucheng's hand. The girl extended her tiny hand and held the man's broad palm. She said softly, "If I stay by your side, I won't be afraid." Lin Yan wished that she could slap herself when she said that. F***ck. F***ck. Why did she have to say the opposite? Did women in love always say one thing but mean another? She had wanted to run away, but by the time she reacted, she had already grabbed Pei Yucheng's hand. Had she eaten a bear's heart or a leopard's gall? Wasn't she afraid that Pei Yucheng would twist her head off in the next second? Lin Yan shuddered as she regretted her decision. A second later, she fell into a warm embrace. In an instant, her breath was filled with the man's familiar, clear scent. The moonlight spilled in through the window and shone on the two of them. The huge bedroom was silent. The silver watch on the man's wrist was quiet and did not make any sound. Bang! The next second, a loud bang of the door broke the silence. "Big brother, Miss Lin." Pei Nanxiu had just barged in when he saw the two of them hugging each other. Pei Nanxiu and Qin Huan, as well as the experts and professors standing behind them, were all dumbfounded. Professor Tan stared at the instrument in his hand in disbelief. "It's stable. It's stable," Qin Huan blinked and then said excitedly, F***ck. Second young master. "Look. I told you we were exchanging feelings, but you didn't believe me." Hence, Pei Nanxiu stood awkwardly on the spot. The two people in the room were interrupted just like that. Pei Nanxiu, Qin Huan, and the others hurriedly retreated when they sensed Pei Yucheng's icy gaze. "Big brother, I'm sorry. Due to the abnormality of the instrument, we were worried and came over to take a look. I'm sorry for disturbing you." As soon as he finished speaking, the door was tightly shut with a bang. Outside the door, Pei Nanxiu and the others looked as though they had just escaped death. Qin Huan stared at the extremely stable value on the instrument and said proudly, "How about it, old man? I told you that natural stabilizers are the best. Just one hug and everything is settled. It's much better than your chemical products." Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit the website. Chapter 387. Although Pei Yucheng's condition had stabilized, no one dared to let their guard down. Pei Nanxiu, Qin Huan, Xing Chen, and a few other experts guarded the room for the entire night and made all the necessary preparations. The next morning, everyone except Qin Huan had huge panda eyes. Qin Huan stretched lazily and said, "I told you that everything would be fine with that woman around. You guys just like to worry." Looking at Qin Huan's heartless look, Xing Chen glanced at him faintly and moved his left hand out of habit. His left hand immediately made a creaking sound of metal rubbing against each other. Qin Huan had been lucky that he hadn't met Brother Yu when he lost control. He had experienced it himself. He didn't dare to recall what had happened. At that time, he had managed to keep his life. He had only lost a hand. Now that he thought about it, he was really lucky. After making sure that Pei Yucheng's condition had stabilized, everyone left. Meanwhile, in the spacious and bright bedroom, Lin Yan lay on the white bed beside the man. She hadn't slept all night. She held the man's hand carefully and didn't dare to let go. She was afraid that the death watch on his wrist would start beeping again if she let go of it. She had been wrong. She had really been wrong. She suddenly realized that she had made a huge mistake. She had told herself to trust Pei Yucheng's gentle and kind side. However, she had forgotten about his terrifying side. She had forgotten that his gentleness and kindness were just a facade. His facade had been too successful. She had been lured into hell by Pei Yucheng's angelic side. However, she couldn't be blamed. No one in this world could withstand this man's fake gentleness. She had said that she wanted to stay with him. It was impossible for her to go back on her words now. Besides, she didn't dare to. Lin Yan's eyes were wide open as she lay on the bed. She had been extremely nervous the entire night. When the hand she was holding suddenly moved, she immediately sensed it. Lin Yan's gaze trailed up to the man beside her. She didn't know when the man had woken up, but his pair of gloomy eyes were quietly staring at her. Lin Yan jumped in fright and almost broke into a run. She shrank her neck and held her breath. She coughed softly and said carefully, "Mr. Pei. You're awake." Pei Yucheng didn't speak. The morning sun shone on the man's face, but it couldn't melt the iciness on his face. His silence made Lin Yan even more uneasy. She held her breath nervously and didn't dare speak again. What if I accidentally said something that agitated him? After some time, the man's gaze landed on the girl's small hand. His slender fingers gently hooked the girl's palm and he said casually, "Do you regret it?" Lin Yan's heart skipped a beat as soon as the man finished speaking. At that moment, Pei Yucheng's eyes seemed to have seen through her completely. She had nowhere to hide. Wasn't this man too scary? He could tell what she was thinking at a glance. Besides, the current Pei Yucheng gave her an extremely unfamiliar feeling. She felt as though she had never truly known or understood the person in front of her. For a better reading experience, please browse and read on the internet. Chapter 388. Regretting it? Of course she regretted it. How could she not? But at this moment, even if you beat her to death, she wouldn't dare to say these two words. Pei Yucheng had been fine earlier on. Why had he suddenly lost control? Was it because of a nightmare? As the saying went, one dreamed of what they thought during the day. What had triggered him to have a nightmare that had made him lose control? Could it be that he had discovered her hiding the poster during the day? And he had discovered her twice? She couldn't be so unlucky, could she? Lin Yan didn't have time to think. In order to save her life, she could only blink and feign ignorance. Regret. Regret what? Pei Yucheng's fingers grasped the girl's hand and pressed it down. In a hushed voice, he said, "Regret coming to me. Regret being dragged into hell by me." The man's deep voice and cold gaze were like chains that pulled her into the depths of the darkness. Lin Yan was speechless. She did regret it, but she had to admit that he had lured her here. What else could she do? In the end, Lin Yan coughed softly and raised her head. She smiled sincerely and said, "How could that be? Wherever you are, even if it's a barren desert, it's still an oasis for me. You're the source of water at the end of the desert. You're the warm sun at the peak of the snow mountain. You're the starlight in the endless night." Lin Yan had never imagined that her acting skills would save her life one day. What did this mean? It meant that she had to study hard and improve every day. One more skill meant one more way to make a living. Besides, she had to continue to work hard and evolve to deal with the boss, who was constantly increasing the difficulty of the level. This time, under the immense pressure, Lin Yan got into character quickly. When she met the man's eyes, she looked even more sincere. "Besides, so what if you take me to hell? You're there. Pei Yucheng's eyes flickered as he listened to the girl. He seemed to have sunk into a complicated train of thought. These were words that he had never hoped to hear from a girl's mouth in his entire life. Who would have thought that one day, he would actually hear it from her mouth? As long as you're there, so what if it's hell? You're still there. These words reverberated in his ears over and over again like a cup of poisoned wine. Even though he knew it was poisonous, he kept tasting it, drinking poison to quench his thirst. Pei Yucheng was startled. After some time, the corners of his mouth twitched as though he was smiling. His thin lips parted slightly as he muttered something. Little liar, the man's voice was too soft, so Lin Yan couldn't hear him clearly. She asked cautiously, "Huh? Mr. Pei? What did you say? I didn't hear you clearly." "Miss Lin, you don't have to be nervous." Pei Yucheng chuckled softly as he continued to squeeze the girl's hand gently. "No matter what nonsense you spout, I will believe you." Pfft. Lin Yan choked on her own saliva. No. No, no. I'm not lying. Every single word I said came from the bottom of my heart. Pei Yucheng replied, "I believe you." Lin Yan was speechless. Mobile users, please continue to browse and read. For a better reading experience, please come to the website of self-love. My dear readers, I've been waiting for a long time. My train of thought is slightly stuck. I'll make up for it when it goes smoothly. Chapter 389. Early in the morning, at Star Entertainment, as the new director of the talent department, Gao Zhiwei had called for a meeting early in the morning, as though he was going to take over the reins of the company. Everyone was fawning over him and fawning over him. How delightful. We've finally chased Lin Yan out of the room. If it weren't for Director Gao, that woman would still be under Zhao Hongling's protection. She would still be tarnishing the company's reputation. That's right. Zhao Hongling has the audacity to be the director. How could she have such a good eye for talent? How could she treat a piece of trash like a treasure? Does she really think that she will be popular? Pfft. Lin Yan will be a hit? If she can make a big hit, I'll swallow this table. And Xianxian, who was seated on Gao Zhiwei's left, chuckled softly. Don't say that. Her new movie is going to be released soon. It's going to be a blockbuster. She will be joining the cast of the best actors and actresses. Who knows, she might be able to ride the wave of popularity. Everyone's eyes were filled with disdain and mockery. Even if the movie becomes popular, what does it have to do with her? Xianxian, didn't you see how badly the internet is scolding her? Because of her, many fans are boycotting the movie. I bet the producer of the movie is in a terrible state right now. He must be regretting his decision. Lin Yan doesn't have any ability at all. She only knows how to create hype. She has a bad reputation in the industry. Anyone who gets involved with her will be in trouble. The person who spoke changed the topic and immediately looked at Gao Zhiwei. He began to flatter him again. Fortunately, Director Gao's thunderous methods helped us get rid of this rat sh*t, otherwise, I'm afraid that even our company would be implicated now. That's right. Director Gao will definitely lead Star Entertainment to greater heights. Gao Zhiwei's face lit up with pride as he listened to everyone's flattery. You guys have reminded me. Since Lin Yan has terminated her contract with our company, she will have nothing to do with our company from now on. The Public Relations Department will make the necessary arrangements and release a statement to clarify this matter. Don't cause trouble for the company. Understood, Director. I've already made the arrangements. The person in charge of the Public Relations Department immediately said. Hence, Star Entertainment's official Weibo account announced that they had terminated their contract with Lin Yan. Star Entertainment was just a small company in the industry. It was only because of Jiang Xifei that they had gained some fame. However, after this official Weibo statement came out, it set off a lot of heat. Many people were cheering in support of Star Entertainment. Damn! Lin Yan, the malignant tumor of the entertainment industry, had finally been chased out. Star Entertainment has done a great job. What has Star Entertainment been up to? To keep this kind of artist in the company. It's no wonder that Jiang Sifei left for House of Millions Media. I heard that there has been a change of management in Star Entertainment. The previous director had been protecting Lin Yan, but the new management has better foresight. Gao Zhiwei sat in front of the computer in a luxurious office that had completely changed. He looked at the fans' praises for him on the internet with a face full of pride. Qianqian, just you wait. She will come knocking on my door in a few days. However, when the time comes, I won't be so easy to talk to. Humph. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit the website. Chapter 390. In the past few days, Star Entertainment had been keeping a close eye on the news online, especially on the major forums. Meeting One's match hadn't even been released yet, but it had already been boycotted by the entire internet. This was within Star Entertainment's expectations. And Qianqian sneered coldly. Lin Yan relied on all sorts of scandals to gain popularity. It's normal for her to be boycotted by the entire internet. The corners of Gao Zhiwei's mouth curled up. The production team released the trailer for this movie not long ago. Lin Yan was supposed to appear in it. However, due to the internet boycott, Lin Yan's scenes in the trailer have been deleted. One of the managers chuckled and quipped, "Director Gao, this is nothing. Perhaps in the near future, Lin Yan's scenes in Meeting One's match will be deleted. They might even have to recast her." Although Lin Yan's character was important in Meeting One's match, she didn't have many scenes. It wasn't impossible for Lin Yan's scenes to be deleted because of the boycott. Gao Zhiwei and the others weren't wrong. The production team of Meeting One's match was indeed in a terrible predicament. They had tried their best to minimize Lin Yan's presence. However, they hadn't expected that the movie would still be boycotted. Naturally, this was the work of their enemies. They wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to suppress them, and there were also some other forces that were playing dirty. However, Lin Yan's reputation was too bad. Her fans had only needed to stir things up, and the public had been stirred up to boycott the movie. Now that the situation had been set in stone, they wouldn't be able to suppress it even if they spent money. In fact, it might even backfire. To make matters worse, many reputable film critics and fans had started to boycott Meeting One's match. They had also declared that they would boycott any movie or TV series in which Lin Yan starred in the future. Under such circumstances, the production team was under immense pressure. During the meeting, Feng Anhua, who was in a terrible predicament, slammed the table angrily. "Delete! Delete everything! Tell the publicity department not to include any footage or videos related to Lin Yan. Producer Feng, we've already deleted it. We've also deleted and reposted the previous version, but the effect isn't great. Everyone knows that Lin Yan has starred in our film," the crew member replied bitterly. Assistant Director Wu Wenhai glanced at Jiang Yiming and sneered coldly. If someone hadn't supported Lin Yan and insisted on making her the supporting actress, we wouldn't have encountered such a problem today. Now, because of this rat poop, our investment of tens of millions is going to go down the drain. Some people have to take responsibility, right? Jiang Yiming's face darkened and he said nothing. He firmly believed that he wasn't wrong, but he also knew that the crew needed to make money. The industry was not a place that only talked about right and wrong, Feng Anhua replied solemnly. In that case, delete all Lin Yan scenes and publish an apology to her fans. Chapter 391. Jiang Yiming's face fell when he heard this. No. Assistant Director Wu Wenhai raised an eyebrow. Director Jiang, are you still going to speak up for Lin Yan? Jiang Yiming replied, if we want to delete Lin Yan's scenes, we have to delete all of Wei Xiufeng's scenes as well. After all, both of them have scenes together. Although Lin Yan doesn't have many scenes, she serves as a bridge between the previous and the following. The scene with Pei Nanxiu is especially crucial. If we delete it, the entire movie will be ruined. At the mention of Wei Xiufeng, everyone started to feel apprehensive. Wei Tianwang wasn't someone to be trifled with. If this doesn't work, then that doesn't work. Director Jiang, can you think of another way? The movie has already been set and will be released soon. There's no time to replace the actress. Besides, it's better to ruin the movie than to lose everything, Wu Wenhai quipped. He wasn't the only one. The other crew members couldn't help but grumble. Feng Anhua didn't speak either. He had worked with Jiang Yiming for many years and they had always had a good relationship. However, Jiang Yiming had to bear a heavy responsibility for this incident. Everyone in the meeting room started to grumble. Suddenly, Jiang Yiming stood up slowly and said solemnly, as the main director of this movie, I object to deleting Lin Yan's scenes. I have decided to release the movie as scheduled. When the time comes, if this movie loses money, I, as the chief director, will bear the consequences. I will explain it to the investors. Meeting adjourned. After Jiang Yiming finished speaking, he bent down and slowly bowed to everyone sitting there. The entire meeting room fell silent. After some time, someone muttered, what if this movie suffers a loss? This movie is bound to suffer a loss, right? Yeah. Didn't you see how terrible our showtimes are? All the cinemas don't want to air our movie. They are giving us midnight showtimes. Sigh. This movie was supposed to be profitable, but it has been ruined by that dog skin plaster. What bad luck. Director Jiang has made a mistake this time. He refuses to admit it. At Cloud Manor, after the frightening first night, the next few days were rather peaceful. Pei Yucheng was usually very busy with work, so he often came home late. They hadn't seen each other for the past 2 days, so they seemed to be getting along well. Lin Yan tossed and turned on the bed in boredom. From time to time, she would scroll through the news on her phone. When she read Star Entertainment's latest announcement, Lin Yan stroked her chin and grinned. Gao Zhiwei was really shameless. How dare he use her to improve the company's impression of him? He even pretended to be a righteous man who enforced justice on behalf of the heavens. However, Lin Yan couldn't be bothered to explain herself. At this stage, she would be cursed by the netizens if she didn't speak up. What if she did? Didn't you say that your brother couldn't even stand and walk? In the end, do you know what kind of crazy thing happened on my first night here? Pei Yutong's eyes widened in shock. What happened? What did my big brother do to you? Lin Yan was speechless. What was with this brat's expectant expression? Your big brother fought with me. I almost lost my life. Lin Yan yelled angrily. Fight! Fight! Pei Yutong was stunned. It was the middle of the night, and a man and a woman were living in the same room. Couldn't the two of you do something meaningful? In the end, you went to fight? Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit the website. Chapter 393. Lin Yan had an appointment with Zhao Hongling to discuss the contract. She had no time to waste with him, so she headed to Zhao Hongling's apartment. Duo and Zhao Hongling were busy reviewing the contract. Duo, go and open the door, Zhao Hongling instructed when she heard the doorbell. Duo stood up and opened the door. Sister Yen, you're here. Duo greeted Lin Yen. What did you call me? Lin Yen grinned at her. Duo was speechless. Grandma, you're here. The corners of Duo's mouth twitched as she spoke. Good girl. Lin Yen nodded and tossed her bag on the couch. Lin Yen, I've read it carefully. There's nothing wrong with our contract, but... Zhao Hongling's eyes darted to Lin Yen with a strange expression. Sister Ling, what's wrong? Asked Lin Yen. It's about the salary. Zhao Hongling cut to the chase. Lin Yen quipped, Sister Ling, are you dissatisfied with the low salary? No. Zhao Hongling shook her head. On the contrary, it's too high. Zhao Hongling had specially investigated Summit Entertainment's remuneration. The commissions and guarantees offered by veteran managers were indeed ideal. However, Zhao Hongling's remuneration was slightly higher than that of the veteran managers in Summit Entertainment. According to normal logic, the minimum salary and dividends for those who had jumped ship should not be comparable to those of the veteran staff. That's good enough. Sister Ling, do you think there's a problem? Lin Yen was puzzled. Zhao Hongling nodded and replied, I'm very satisfied with Summit Entertainment's offer. I'm just curious. Why would Summit Entertainment spend so much money on me? I've seen it. Your artist contract offers a very good treatment. Is there a need to ask? Summit Entertainment thinks that the contract is worth the price. They aren't doing charity work. Lin Yen grinned at her. Zhao Hongling didn't doubt Lin Yan's words. Just as Lin Yen had said, Summit Entertainment wasn't a charity organization. They would evaluate a person based on their ability and potential. According to Zhao Hongling's expectations, their salaries and profits would be lower than Summit Entertainment's average. However, she hadn't expected the current situation. Usually, a manager's salary would follow the artist's salary. Summit Entertainment had treated Lin Yen well, which was why she and Duo were treated so well. In the past, a manager like her would never have dared to dream of entering Summit Entertainment. My salary has increased several times too. Duo stared at Lin Yen excitedly. Summit Entertainment's assistants were paid directly by the company. Duo's family wasn't well off, so she was considered the pillar of the family. However, she was already very satisfied with her salary at Star Entertainment. However, Summit Entertainment was offering her 6 times the salary of Star Entertainment. Moreover, this was only the salary for the internship period. If she performed well, there was still a lot of room for her salary to increase. When he first read through the contract, Plenty felt as though he was dreaming. Zhao Hongling and Lin Yen waited for a while before the staff from Summit Entertainment arrived. It was a staff member from Summit Entertainment who was in charge of signing contracts and a colleague from the legal department. Chapter 394. As expected of Summit Entertainment, the staff was professional. They didn't waste any time and asked the legal department to verify the terms of the contract. After ensuring that both parties had no objections, they signed the contract. The staff member stood up and shook Lin Yan's hand. "Miss Lin, welcome to Summit Entertainment. After you sign the contract, please don't announce it to the public. Summit Entertainment will contact your manager, Miss Zhao, to arrange your schedule and personnel." Lin Yan replied, "Okay. Thank you." The staff member said a few more words to Lin Yan and Zhao Hongling before he left the apartment. Zhao Hongling and Duo stared at the signed contract. This was the first time they had felt so real. They had really signed a contract with Summit Entertainment. Duo bit the back of her hand. "Oh my God. This isn't a dream. My ancestors are really lucky." After discussing the contract, Zhao Hongling's eyes trailed to Lin Yan. Meeting One's Match is going to be released soon. Have you checked the schedule of the movie? Lin Yan nodded. I've heard about it. Zhao Hongling scrolled through the data and said, you should know that the situation isn't looking good. The movie you starred in will be screened at midnight or early in the morning. Besides, there will only be one screening a day. In the past, there were several other movies that were screening at the same time as Meeting One's Match. All of them wanted to make way for this movie. However, now that they have reappeared, I think that this movie won't pose any threat to them. In other words, this movie will fail miserably. Zhao Hongling analyzed the situation. It's because of the negative news online, right? Asked Lin Yan. Hearing this, Zhao Hongling nodded and said honestly, indeed, it has a lot to do with the whole internet boycotting this movie. Especially some famous film critics. They are very against this movie because of you, so they are boycotting it. The film schedule isn't a charity either. Because of the boycott, the movie will be screened at midnight to minimize the losses. Zhao Hongling eyed Lin Yan intently. So you have to be mentally prepared. Lin Yan sighed after listening to Zhao Hongling's analysis. I'm just an actress. My duty is to perform well. I can't do anything else. It's not my place to worry. Good mentality. Zhao Hongling said, however, you don't have to worry too much. Since you have a contract with Summit Entertainment and you have the ability, you still have a chance to turn the tables. Zhao Hongling had a rough idea of who was behind this. Other than Star Entertainment, Triumph Entertainment and Lin Shuya had also put in a lot of effort. Their goal was to use this opportunity to silence Lin Yan from the entertainment industry. It might be possible to deal with artists from other companies, but Summit Entertainment wasn't powerful enough to ban artists from Summit Entertainment. Since Summit Entertainment had signed Lin Yan, they naturally wouldn't leave her to ruin their reputation. They would give her a chance to prove herself. Even if Meeting One's Match failed, as long as Lin Yan could maintain her composure and maintain her acting skills, she was confident that she would be able to build up her image with Summit Entertainment's resources. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 395. Duo had been with Lin Yan during the filming of the movie, so she knew that Lin Yan had acted well. Hence, she felt indignant on her behalf. Someone must be manipulating the public opinion. However, these people on the internet are too much of a parrot. They haven't even watched the movie, yet they are scolding me. Don't they have their own thoughts? I've always believed in one thing, replied Lin Yan. What is it? Strength can break all tricks. No matter what scheme or plot it is, it will be useless in the face of true strength. Duo was speechless. She was being narcissistic again. In the CEO's office on the top floor of Summit Entertainment, Summit Entertainment's boss, Chu Jiao, glanced at the man curiously. Nanshu, tell me the truth. How dare you ask me to sign an actress with a bad reputation? What is your relationship with Lin Yan? Pei Nanshu, who had been harassed by Chu Jiao for days, replied helplessly, didn't I tell you? This collaboration made me think that this girl has potential. You won't regret signing her. Are you sure you don't like her? Chu Jiao's face was full of suspicion. You have to know that the impact of this matter is very big. If you fall in love, and with such a disreputable artist at that, the whole company will be shaken. When that happens, I won't be able to explain it to the boss. Pei Nanshu was speechless. However, the truth was that his boss was the one who had fallen in love. Don't worry. It's not what you think. I have no intention of falling in love. If I did, I would have informed you. Pei Nanshu had no choice but to reassure him. Pei Nanshu didn't belong to any of Summit Entertainment's managers. Chu Jiao was in charge of all his affairs. In other words, Chu Jiao's boss was his agent. After working with her, you felt that she had potential. That's why you asked me to sign her. Why don't I believe you? There are so many actresses with potential, but you didn't ask me. Why did you insist on helping her? Chu Jiao was puzzled. Pei Nanxiu, who knew that Chu Jiao wasn't that gullible, replied, because I believe that she will be the most popular actress in Summit Entertainment in the future. Is this reason enough? Chu Jiao glanced at the laptop on his desk and scanned the screen. Are you sure? A well-known film critic, I've always thought that Jiang Yiming was the most conscientious director in the entertainment industry, but I take that back now. Meeting One's Match is a lousy movie. I will never go to the cinema to watch another one of director Jiang Yiming's films. I'm so disappointed. A certain verified account in the fan circle, oh my god. I had thought that the production team would have replaced Lin Yan. Who would have thought that they would still use her? She's dragging down the entire production team's standards. Is the production team crazy? Or do you think it's so easy to earn money from fans that you can stuff any sh*t into our mouths? I'm really sorry, but we're not eating this time. Wei Shufeng's fans replied, how dare they try to force all kinds of couples into our mouths? How dare they make Lin Yan and our young master act as a couple? How dare they let their fans watch such a sh*tty movie? Strongly boycott Meeting One's Match. A certain loyal fan, f*ck. Choosing this kind of person to play my Queen Pianruo. The crew is f*king exploding. How dare they expect fans to pay for their tickets? Dream on. I would rather die than contribute a single ticket to the movie. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 397. The next morning, a film critic's Weibo post had become a trending topic. Praise Meeting One's Match. Praise Lin Pianruo. It wasn't because the critic was influential, but because his comments were too conspicuous among the scolding. Basically, all the comments below were scolding the film critic for being sensationalist and crazy for wanting to be famous. Hence, the film critic posted another post to explain himself. I don't care what kind of person Lin Yan is. I'm only talking about her performance in the movie. Meeting One's Match is the best movie I've watched in the past 2 years. Lin Yan's acting is the best I've seen in the past 2 years, and her acting skills are the best. Her performance in the movie didn't affect the quality of the movie at all. On the contrary, she was an integral part of the movie. If she was removed from the movie, it would be a huge loss for the movie. I would like to apologize to director Jiang Yiming for doubting and criticizing the movie. Director Jiang's decision was the right one. I hope that everyone won't be misled by public opinion and let a good movie be buried. When this Weibo post was first posted, almost all the comments were cursed by anti-fans. Initially, I thought that this person was trying to gain attention and become famous. Now, it seems like he's Lin Yan's fake reviewers. How can you say such lies? You must be a fake reviewers. How much money have you received from Lin Yan? I've lived long enough. How can someone defend Lin Yan? Has his conscience been eaten by a dog? The film critic, who had been forced into a corner, replied, everyone can watch it for themselves. If you say that it's not good after watching it, I'll do it. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I'll eat it. I'll eat it. Although this film critic didn't have many fans or influence, he was straightforward and had never tried to defend his movie. Hence, a small group of fans started to comment. I've watched many of this blogger's previous movies. They are all quite accurate. I don't think he would accept money to do such a thing. Ha ha ha. How dare he say that he'll eat sh*t during a live stream? To be honest, I'm really curious. I want to watch this movie. At the same time, a Weibo post by an anti-fan caused a commotion. F***ck. F***ck. Go watch Meeting One's match. I must watch Meeting One's match. All of you will fall in love with her after watching her. From today onward, I'm going to announce that I'm a fan of Lin Yan. Lin Yan and Wei Xiufeng were simply too easy to get along with in the movie. KSWL. This person was a veteran hate fan of Lin Yan's. Hence, most of her fans were haters of Lin Yan. Everyone thought she was crazy when they saw her status. F***ck me. What's going on, sister? Didn't you watch Lin Yan's drama last night? Hadn't she promised to share Lin Yan's acting skills with them? Why are you bragging? What potion did Lin Yan feed you? Sisters. She wasn't crazy. Last night, I watched Meeting One's match with her. We wanted to secretly record some scandals and slander Lin Yan. In the end, we lost our minds. Even if Lin Yan had hired a fake reviewers, she wouldn't have hired such a person. Hence, this fan's post piqued the curiosity of many. In the end, it was reposted by a hate fan of Lin Yan's, and it became a hot topic. Chapter 398. Although everyone still doubted the authenticity of these words, people were curious. After seeing these comments, many people's curiosity was aroused. In particular, the anti-fan even released a lot of footage from the scene. The first photo was of Lin Yan in a black gown. Although the photos were a little blurry, it didn't affect Lin Yan's beauty. The second photo was of Lin Yan and Wei Xiufeng. The girl was holding a phone in her hand as she gazed at Wei Xiufeng affectionately. There was no emotion in her eyes. The last photo was of Lin Yan sitting in the ward and chatting casually with Pei Nanxiu. Just from the photo alone, one could tell that the girl had a powerful aura. The production crew of Meeting One's match hadn't dared to release any footage of Lin Yan. The only footage that had shown her silhouette had been deleted in the end. Hence, there hadn't been any footage of Lin Yan. When they saw the stills from the movie, many fans were stunned. What the F***ck? Is there something wrong with my eyes? Lin Yan looks so beautiful in the movie. She looks exactly like the Queen of Pianruo in my heart. Based on her looks alone, she is indeed good. However, even if she can change her face, how can she act? How can it be so exaggerated? I can't help but feel that Lin Yan and Wei Xiufeng are a couple. Am I crazy? I want to go and watch it. I want to watch it too. Driven by such curiosity, many fans walked into the cinema. The first batch of fans were mostly Lin Yan's haters. When these haters walked out of the theater, almost all of them posted their own reviews on various social media platforms. All of them were praising Lin Yan. Later, it gradually attracted the attention of many professional film critics. After watching it, these film critics all reposted the Weibo of the film critic who had been scolded and criticized. Everyone was full of praise, saying that this was a completely underrated film. That night, praise Lin Yan's acting skills became the top trending topic. The afternoon screening of Meeting One's match in all the major cinemas was filled with curious fans. It was hard to get a ticket in the end. The voices of those fans who had personally gone to the cinema to watch the movie gradually gathered like a stream, and finally condensed into a huge torrent, sweeping through the entire internet. I apologize for what I said to director Jiang Yiming. Director Jiang is one of the few directors with a conscience. The role of Lin Pianruo belongs to Lin Yan. Scold me if you want to. This time, I shall praise Lin Yan's acting skills. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw Lin Yan. Is that really Lin Yan? His acting had improved so much. What exactly happened to Lin Yan? I'm Wei Xiaofan's fan. I thought that I would hate Lin Yan after watching her work with my baby. However, Lin Yan's acting was so good that I forgot that she was Lin Yan. I even kowtowed a little too much. It's a pity that Lin Yan didn't have many scenes. I'm a fan of this movie, so it's inevitable that I'm stricter about the casting. Hence, when I first found out that Lin Yan was going to play the role of Lin Pianruo, I was furious. I felt as though the goddess in my heart had been sullied. However, after watching the movie, I'm really grateful to Lin Yan for portraying Queen Pianruo so perfectly. Chapter 399. There were more and more comments online. Although there were still many haters and fake reviewers who tried to control the situation, the number of people watching the movie kept increasing. There was no way they could control the situation. In the end, the entire internet, including the official Weibo account of Meeting One's Match, was flooded by the same comment. There was only one word to describe this comment: amazing. Initially, no one had been interested in the movie for the first 3 days. However, on the 4th and 5th days, the theaters had started to increase the number of screenings for Meeting One's Match on the 6th day. All of Lin Yan's scandals and her haters had been converted into the box office sales of this movie. The movie's box office had skyrocketed along with Lin Yan's popularity. It had become a trending topic on the internet. The entertainment industry was a magical place. 1 second, you might be a nobody, but the next, you would become famous overnight. A second ago, you had been hated by the entire internet. A second later, you were being praised by the entire internet. Lin Yan was still sleeping when she heard the news. Too many people had been criticizing her. Zhao Hongling was afraid that she would be affected, so she had ordered her to disconnect from the internet and not pay attention to the public. Usually, when Pei Yucheng wasn't at home, Lin Yan would be at ease in the villa. Zhao Hongling had forbidden her from surfing the internet, so she treated it as a vacation. Hello, Sister Ling. What's wrong? What's wrong this time? Lin Yan asked in a daze. Before Zhao Hongling could reply, Duoduo's excited voice was heard. Grandma. You're popular. Huh? Haven't I always been popular? Lin Yan raised an eyebrow. No. I'm not talking about you. You're really popular. The entire internet is praising your acting skills. Because of you, the box office for Meeting One's Match has been soaring. Just now, producer Feng called Sister Ling and wanted to contact you. He wants to invite you to a promotional event for their movie. Duo explained excitedly. Lin Yan sobered up a little. Invite me to the promotional event? Feng Anhua wished that she was invisible. How could he invite her to the promotional event? It seemed like Duo was telling the truth. Lin Yan had expected that the movie's reputation would improve. However, she hadn't expected that it would change so drastically in just a few days. Did Summit Entertainment intervene? Asked Lin Yan. Zhao Hongling replied, Summit Entertainment said that they didn't do anything. It was your performance that brought the movie back to life. It was all thanks to director Jiang Yiming's persistence that the movie was released successfully, replied Lin Yan. You don't have to be humble, your performance was indeed very good. Actually, the main reason why people slandered you before was because you didn't have the ability. This is the Achilles heel of an actor. But now, you've shown everyone your strength, and you've also shown them your sincerity. Zhao Hongling continued, Feng Anhua doesn't know that I'm still your manager. He contacted me because he couldn't get in touch with you. I haven't revealed too much to him yet. But I've asked around for you. He's sincerely inviting you to participate in the promotional activities for his movie. You can participate in this activity. It's good for you. Lin Yan nodded. Okay. Sister Ling, please make the arrangements. How expensive would it be if she smashed any one of them? Qin Huan and Xing Chen's faces fell when they heard the alarm. Both of them started to gesture frantically at Lin Yan. Chapter 401. Lin Yan couldn't understand what they were doing. At that critical moment, Lin Yan was the one who realized something. Pei Yucheng's expression when he saw the pillow in her arms was the same as when he had seen Pei Nanxiu's poster. A second later, Lin Yan flung the pillow as far away as she could and hugged Pei Yucheng. She said solemnly, "What kind of lousy pillow is this? It's so hard and soft. It doesn't feel comfortable at all. It must be made of black cotton. A natural pillow is the best." Beep, 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 beep. The watch stopped ringing. Qin Huan and Xing Chen heaved a sigh of relief, as though they had just escaped death. Pei Yucheng seemed to have sobered up a little. He gazed at Lin Yan gently and asked, "Are you hungry? What do you want to eat?" Pei Yucheng acted as though nothing had happened. If the alarm hadn't gone off, Lin Yan would have thought that she was hallucinating. The second thing that Lin Yan was afraid of was Pei Yucheng's watch. The first thing she was afraid of was Pei Yucheng asking her if she was hungry. Lin Yan was even more frightened when she heard him. She replied hastily, "I'm not hungry. I've already eaten. You don't have to cook for me." Lin Yan looked as sincere as she could as she tried her best to avoid eating. "Oh yeah. Mr. Pei, you must have been drinking. You must be feeling unwell. I'll go to the kitchen to cook some soup for you to sober up. Wait for me." Lin Yan helped Pei Yucheng to sit down on the couch. Fortunately, her hug and the way she had thrown the pillow at him had pleased him. Pei Yucheng had calmed down completely and regained his usual gentleness and politeness. "Thank you." Lin Yan replied, "You're welcome. As long as you don't enter the kitchen, you can do whatever you want." While Xing Chen and Pei Yucheng were discussing work, Lin Yan pulled Qin Huan aside. "Mr. Tulip? Excuse me, what happened just now? What happened to the pillow?" "Miss Lin, my name is Qin Huan." Qin Huan introduced himself. Then, he glanced at the pillow that had been thrown to the corner and said, "That second young master's personal item. Don't you know?" "Ah. Did this belong to Mr. Pei?" "I don't know. I thought it belonged to the house when I saw it on the couch. I think it was given to second young master by a fan. Second young master treasures it very much and always carries it with him. Luckily you threw it away quickly." Qin Huan was also shocked. Lin Yan patted her chest as fear lingered in her heart. She had hugged Pei Yucheng's personal belongings tightly in front of him. She must be tired of living, however, her idol was too loving. He even brought along a pillow from his fan. How dare she say that Pei Nanxiu's pillow was filled with black cotton? "Sorry. Mr. Pei." She really had no choice. This is too dangerous. If that's the case, won't there be traps everywhere? I should check with Mr. Pei and Pei Yutang later. I don't want to touch anything that I shouldn't. Lin Yan muttered under her breath. Otherwise, with such a big house, how would she know who owned what and what she couldn't touch? So the only person in this house that she could touch was Pei Yucheng. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 402. The most luxurious place in Pei Yucheng's villa wasn't the bedroom, the study, the swimming pool, or the gym. It was the kitchen. The kitchen was very spacious, and there was a huge freezer with all kinds of fresh ingredients in it. The tools were also very high-end. It was obvious that Pei Yucheng loved to cook. Lin Yan found the ingredients needed to make the soup and began to prepare it according to the instructions on the internet. Actually, her cooking skills were terrible, but they were at the level of an average human. She couldn't compare to Pei Yucheng's hellish cooking skills. Lin Yan peeked at the living room from time to time as she prepared the soup. She had a feeling that Lollipop seemed to be in a bad mood today. What was Lollipop called again? His name was Xing Chen. Indeed, Lin Yan saw that Xing Chen hadn't left after reporting to Pei Yucheng. He was still standing in front of Pei Yucheng, looking as though he wanted to say something. Pei Yucheng noticed that the boy hadn't moved, so he glanced at him. What's wrong? Is there anything else? Xing Chen looked conflicted, as though he wanted to say something. Qin Huan, who was at the side, seemed to have sensed what he was going to do. He quickly shook his head and mouthed, "Hey! Don't court death." Xing Chen must have sensed that Pei Yucheng was in a good mood tonight, so he inhaled deeply and took a step forward. "Yes, brother Yu. I have something to ask of you." Qin Huan rubbed his forehead in despair when he heard Xing Chen. He whispered anxiously, "Xing Chen, are you crazy? How could you make such a stupid mistake?" He hurried forward and tried to pull Xing Chen away. "Brother Yu, Xing Chen is fine. He just drank too much tonight and is a little talkative. Ignore him." Xing Chen's eyes hardened as he glanced at Qin Huan. He pulled Qin Huan's arm away firmly. Qin Huan wasn't Xing Chen's match, so he struggled free. Xing Chen rushed to Pei Yucheng and said, "Brother Yu, Xiaoye has been punished for a long time. Can you let her come back? She can't stay in that place any longer. Otherwise, she..." Xing Chen. Qin Huan glared at Xing Chen. He had a death wish. Pei Yucheng, who was flipping through the documents, replied casually, "Otherwise, what? Stop talking." Qin Huan stared at the expressionless man who seemed harmless to both humans and animals. Cold sweat seeped out of his forehead. "Otherwise. Little you will, swoosh." At the same time, Pei Yucheng, who had been flipping through the documents, moved his right hand. Xing Chen's forehead seemed to have been hit by something. His entire body was thrown to the ground, and he appeared to be in pain. "Brother Yu." Xing Chen's body trembled as his eyes darted to Pei Yucheng, who hadn't moved at all. "What else?" Pei Yucheng replied nonchalantly without lifting his head. "Brother Yu." Xiaoye, bang! This time, Xing Chen's body was like a kite with a broken string, crashing into a nearby bookshelf. Books scattered all over the floor. "Otherwise what?" Pei Yucheng adjusted his gold-rimmed glasses gently as he replied nonchalantly. However, Xing Chen was silent at this moment. He endured the pain in his body and struggled to stand up with the help of the bookshelf beside him. Chapter 403. Qin Huan heaved a sigh of relief when Xing Chen fell silent. Others might not understand Pei Yucheng, but he knew him the best. This man didn't have a single shred of emotion. He was as though he was a machine that was programmed to be cold and cruel. If Xing Chen continued to be so unappreciative of his kindness, he might die. Pei Yucheng would crush him with his own hands. Even though Xing Chen had been with him since he was young, Pei Yucheng wouldn't be soft-hearted. Just like Xiaoye, whom Xing Chen had mentioned. This man was too terrifying. He was so terrifying that even though he looked harmless, he could send chills down one's spine with just one look. Don't try to play the emotional card with Pei Yucheng. He didn't have any. Lin Yan frowned as she scanned the living room. What was wrong with Xing Chen? Pei Yucheng had just finished reading the last page of the document when his eyes landed on Xing Chen. Pei Yucheng's gentle expression didn't change at all, but the aura around him made one shudder. The immense pressure made Xing Chen break out in a cold sweat. "What did you say just now?" Pei Yucheng asked coldly. Xing Chen and Qin Huan shuddered when they heard Pei Yucheng. Qin Huan didn't dare speak at all. If he dared to say a word, Xing Chen would be in deep trouble. Even he would suffer. "Brother Yu, I didn't say anything." Xing Chen gritted his teeth. Pei Yucheng replied calmly, "If I remember correctly, Ling Yu's punishment will end in 2 years." Xing Chen's eyes lit up when Pei Yucheng mentioned it. He nodded as though there was a glimmer of hope. "Brother Yu, yes. Xiaoya can't hold on any longer. 2 years is too long." Pei Yucheng fell into deep thought. "Really?" Pei Yucheng's slender fingers tapped the table rhythmically. "Then let's increase it by another 10 years. "What?" Xing Chen was completely dumbfounded. His body was trembling, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. Xiaoya couldn't hold on any longer. 10 years. How could this happen? What had he done? It was him who harmed Xiaoyu. He had thought that Pei Yucheng would change because of that woman. He had thought that there would be a tinge of humanity in Pei Yucheng. However, Xing Chen had realized that he was wrong. He was ridiculously wrong. "Do you want to accompany her?" Suddenly, Pei Yucheng changed the topic. "Brother Yu." Xing Chen looked flustered. Even if he had to die, he absolutely could not go to that place, that laboratory that only contained despair. "You haven't answered me." Pei Yucheng stared at Xing Chen expressionlessly. "I don't want to go." Xing Chen's breathing quickened. "Go down," Pei Yucheng replied. Immediately, Qin Huan hurriedly supported Xing Chen and hurriedly retreated. In the kitchen, Lin Yan watched as Qin Huan supported Xing Chen limping past. She poked her head out and called out to him. "Hey! Damn!" Suddenly, a head popped out, causing Qin Huan to shudder in fear. "Miss Lin?" Xing Chen was startled when he recognized Lin Yan. "Come here." Lin Yan hurriedly beckoned them over. "What do you want?" Qin Huan was puzzled. Lin Yan didn't explain as she dragged them into the kitchen. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 404. What happened just now? Lin Yan shut the kitchen door and stared at Xing Chen and Qin Huan. She had been standing too far away, so she hadn't been able to hear anything. Pei Yucheng had suddenly flared up, and the two of them had left. She had been left alone to face Pei Yucheng's wrath. Of course, she had to get to the bottom of this. Nothing happened. "Miss Lin, you're too curious. This isn't a good thing," quipped Qin Huan. Xing Chen's eyes flickered as he stared at Lin Yan. "Miss Lin Yan. Miss Lin. You can definitely help me." Xing Chen gazed at Lin Yan excitedly. "Me?" Lin Yan instinctively pointed at herself, looking confused. "Xing Chen." Qin Huan frowned. "Are you crazy? Are you trying to kill her?" "No. Perhaps. Brother Yu will listen to her." Lin Yan was Xing Chen's last hope. "Xing Chen, you know what you should and shouldn't do. Miss Lin might not know what kind of person Brother Yu is, but both of us know him. If you had continued, I might have had to bury your corpse. Do you understand?" Qin Huan said solemnly. Xing Chen instinctively glanced at his metal arm. He knew. He knew what kind of person Pei Yucheng was. However, this was his last chance. He couldn't let Xiaoya stay in that place. What happened? Lin Yan became even more anxious when she saw Xing Chen and Qin Huan's expressions. Just what kind of fatal matter was it? Miss Lin. Ling Yu is one of our friends. She has been with Brother Yu since she was young. However, a few years ago, she made a small mistake and was punished by Brother Yu. Xing Chen stared at Lin Yan as he spoke. Since it was a small mistake, I think Mr. Pei isn't a petty person. It's just a small mistake. It shouldn't be too serious, right? Asked Lin Yan. Not serious? The corners of Qin Huan's mouth twitched. This fool pleaded with Brother Yu. Xiaoya should have been able to return in 2 years, but she ended up getting injured. Xiaoya will be back in 10 years. Huh? Lin Yan was startled when she heard that. Why? Was Pei Yucheng really that heartless? Miss Lin Yan, I'm begging you. Can you help me plead with Brother Yu? As long as I recover to 2 years of time, it will do. Xing Chen said agitatedly. Lin Yan glanced at Xing Chen, who was covered in scars. Xing Chen was Pei Yucheng's confidant, yet he had ended up in such a state after pleading for mercy. Xiaoya had even increased her punishment. Although she really wanted to help, she really couldn't do so. Although I really want to help you, it's useless even if you plead for him. I've only known Mr. Pei for a few days. Xing Chen hastily replied, Miss Lin, as long as you agree to help me, I will do anything you ask of me. Lin Yan sighed. It's not that I don't want to help you, but I really can't. Xing Chen, or you can directly state a price. Lin Yan looked helpless. This isn't about money. How much are you offering? Xing Chen, Qin Huan. Chapter 405. Lin Yan hurriedly corrected herself when she realized that she had been too talkative. It was a slip of the tongue. It's not about money. I really don't have the ability. Xing Chen looked hopeless, but he didn't want to give up. His voice trembled as he said, Miss Lin Yan, perhaps you haven't realized how important you are to Brother Yu. He really values you, and your words are more important than anyone else's. Of course, I know that it's too much to ask you to take such a risk. I also know that you won't be able to change Brother Yu's mind. However, I don't ask for much. I just want you to give it a try. Can you? I'm willing to pay any price. Xing Chen bent his knees and was about to kneel before Lin Yan. Lin Yan hurriedly stopped him. No, I can't accept this. Lin Yan fell silent for some time before she said, How about this? I'll find a suitable time when Mr. Pei is in a good mood. I'll try my best, but I can't guarantee anything. Xing Chen was overwhelmed with emotion when he heard Lin Yan. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Lin. Whatever you need me to do, I will go through fire and water without hesitation. Lin Yan replied helplessly, I don't have any requests. I just hope that, in the future, if I break up with Mr. Pei. If we fight, you can help me escape. Xing Chen was speechless, Qin Huan was speechless, both of them broke out in a cold sweat when they heard Lin Yan. Qin Huan said in a panic, My little lady, please don't make such a scary assumption. If you encounter any difficulties in the future, Xing Chen and I will do our best to help. Hearing this, Xing Chen nodded vigorously. Lin Yan sighed and replied, All right then, it's settled. However, don't be anxious. I have to wait for a suitable opportunity before I speak. Otherwise, you guys have just angered him. If I speak now, the effect will be even worse. Xing Chen nodded repeatedly. We'll listen to your arrangements, Miss Lin Yan. If you need anything, you can contact me anytime. Okay. Lin Yan was worried that Pei Yucheng would discover their plot, so she asked them to leave immediately. Coincidentally, the hangover soup was ready. Lin Yen scooped the soup and tasted it. It was sour and refreshing. She had succeeded. Lin Yen blinked after tasting it. Since he couldn't taste it, it didn't matter if it tasted good or not. Lin Yen peeked at the living room and walked over with the soup. Pei Yucheng remained seated on the couch in the living room. At this moment, he had already taken off his coat and was only wearing a light-colored shirt. The documents in his hands were also scattered randomly, and there was an unapproachable atmosphere around him. Lin Yen sighed bitterly to herself. Then, she plucked up her courage and walked over with the soup. "Mr. Pei, the soup is ready. Would you like to drink it now?" asked Lin Yen. "All right." He was about to reach for it when Lin Yen said hastily, "It's hot. Let me feed you." Pei Yucheng's eyes flickered with surprise as he studied the girl. "Thank you, Miss Lin." After sending the message, Lin Yen accidentally saw Xing Chen's signature. Then, she realized that his QQ signature was, "Brother Yu and Sister Yu, our hearts will be tied forever." Lin Yen was speechless. That's enough. In most dramas, shouldn't everyone around the domineering CEO stand up against the plot of a Cinderella and a domineering CEO? What kind of strange plot development was this? Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 407. In the past few days, apart from meeting one's match, there was also a car racing tribute film that had been hyped up to a high level. Moreover, the producers had already decided on the title of the documentary, Legend. Legend had been shot in many locations in the country. Other than renting a few famous racetracks, it had also been announced that the racetrack's Grim Reaper, Yeva, would be appearing in the film. The most eye-catching news was that the racetrack's Grim Reaper would be a Chinese woman. There was a high chance that the actress would be chosen from the country. Regardless of whether it was in the country or overseas, whenever the racetrack's Grim Reaper was mentioned, the topic would be hyped up. Recently, there had been rumors that the racetrack's Grim Reaper, Yeva, had retired due to her injury and wouldn't be accepting any visitors. Hence, Lang Mang would be in charge of the casting. However, there was another rumor that Lang Mang had been training and preparing for the competition. Hence, he had sent one of his disciples to the country with the production crew of Legend to help him choose the role of the racetrack's Grim Reaper. Zhou Qiao. Lin Yen stared at the photo of Lang Mang's disciple, deep in thought. Zhou Qiao had been discovered by Lang Mang during the third level of the competition. He had asked for Lin Yan's opinion before he had accepted Zhou Qiao as his disciple. Zhou Qiao's racing skills had always been good. With Lang Mang's guidance, he had participated in the second level of the international competition several times and achieved good results. However, Lin Yan had never met Zhou Qiao before, so they weren't familiar with each other. Ever since she had been banned from competing, Lin Yan had cut off all contact with her disciples and teams. Initially, she had wanted to cut ties with her past life completely. However, she had realized that it wasn't that easy to abandon the past. Racing had become an essential part of her life. Lin Yan was interested in the role of the racetrack's Grim Reaper. It would be easier for her to play herself. Currently, there were two female celebrities who had been nominated for the role of the racetrack's Grim Reaper. One of them was Lin Shuya, while the other was Qiao Keshuan, an actress from Summit Entertainment's talent department. There were a total of 5 teams in Summit Entertainment, and each team had a different level of talent. Among them, Team 1 seemed to be the strongest. Apart from Qiao Keshuan, there were also many famous celebrities. Even Pei Nanxiu had been in Team 1 before. Furthermore, there were rumors that Qiao Keshuan had a powerful background. His backer was the Pei family, and no one in Summit Entertainment dared to provoke him. She was familiar with Lin Shuya, but she wasn't familiar with Xiaofan. The reason why Lin Shuya and Xiaofan were so popular was that the producers of Legend had confirmed that these two popular actresses would play two roles in the movie. As for the racetrack's Grim Reaper, it was still unknown who would play the role of Yeva. Currently, Legend had started to gain momentum in the country and had filmed many promotional videos. There were also many promotional activities for the movie. Actually, Lin Yan didn't want the racetrack's Grim Reaper to fall into someone else's hands. As for Xiaofan from Summit Entertainment, she didn't know much about him. She did not want her image to be ruined by others. Chapter 408. Lin Yan had done some research on Xiaofan. She was a popular actress from Summit Entertainment. Before she had debuted, she had been a female racer in a national team. After joining Summit Entertainment's team, Summit Entertainment had created a good image for her because she was a racer. She had relied on her tough image as a female racer to stay popular until now. Hence, the popularity of Xiaofan's role as the racetrack's Grim Reaper surpassed that of Lin Shuya. No matter what, Lin Yan still hoped that she could join the cast of Legend and act out her own life. Soon, Lin Yan's phone rang. It was Zhao Hongling. Sister Ling. Lin Yan answered the call. Lin Yan, I have confirmed with Director Jiang that the promotional event will be held tomorrow morning. I will text you the exact time and venue later. Okay. Thank you, Sister Ling. Lin Yan grinned at her. Oh yeah. Zhao Hongling paused for a second. Tomorrow, in addition to the publicity for your movie, another crew will be coming. Another production team? Lin Yan was puzzled by Zhao Hongling's words. Yeah, it will be an international production, replied Zhao Hongling. An international production. Sister Ling, are you talking about Legend? Asked Lin Yan. It seems like you have some understanding of it. Other than meeting one's match, there is another hot topic online. Anyway, it's good that you know about it. Lin Shuya and Xiaofan from Summit Entertainment will be attending the event tomorrow. However, their interview will be after hours, so it won't clash with our schedule. Zhao Hongling knew about the relationship between Lin Yan and Lin Shuya, so she had told her in advance so that she could be mentally prepared in case they bumped into each other. Okay, I understand. Lin Yan nodded. After she hung up, she continued to read more about Legend. Who would have thought that the promotional activities of meeting one's match and Legend would be held on the same day and at the same place? Of course, this wasn't important to her. The next morning, Lin Yan woke up early. After washing up, she headed to the meeting place with Zhao Hongling. When she arrived, Lin Yan followed Zhao Hongling backstage to touch up her makeup. About 15 minutes later, Jiang Yiming, Feng Anhua, and the others also arrived. Haha. Lin Yan, I told you that you would definitely win. I was right, wasn't I? Feng Anhua gazed at Lin Yan with a wide grin on his face. Lin Yan's face darkened as she glanced at Feng Anhua. Had he said something like that? Why didn't she remember? Jiang Sifei was putting on makeup as well. She stared at Lin Yan, who was the center of attention. Initially, she had planned to play the good guy after Lin Yan's death. Then, she would ask the production team to delete Lin Yan's scenes and promote the movie. Who would have thought that her plan would be foiled? Lin Yan would become famous all of a sudden. Chapter 409. Wei Xiaofan, who was seated nearby, remained silent as his eyes darted to Lin Yan from time to time. Wei Xiaofan wasn't interested in the movie or the promotional video. He was only curious about how Lin Yan had defeated WW that day. This was 2F** King ridiculous. Could it be a rigged match? WW was one of the top teams in the country. Although they weren't the best, they shouldn't have lost to the He family team. Wei Xiaofan wanted to step forward and ask Lin Yan personally, but he didn't know where to start. He couldn't possibly ask her if the competition had been rigged. Although he couldn't figure out why WW had agreed to fix the competition, this was the only possibility he could think of. Otherwise, how could Lin Yan have improved so much in such a short period of time? Did she really think that she was the racetrack's Grim Reaper? Wei Xiaofan realized that Lin Yan was looking at him from time to time, which made him even angrier. "Why are you looking at me?" Wei Xiaofan hissed coldly. Lin Yan glanced at Wei Xiaofan and replied unhurriedly, "If you don't look at me, how would you know that I'm looking at you?" This fellow was the one who had stared at her unscrupulously. That was why she had no choice but to look at him. "You," Wei Xiaofan glared at Lin Yan and gritted his teeth. In the end, he couldn't help but ask, what happened during the competition between the He family and WW? What are you trying to do? Even if you come from a racing family and have some skills, everyone knows how good the He family team is. It's impossible for you to defeat WW single-handedly. Lin Yan shrugged helplessly. Perhaps it's because WW is too weak, that's because. I'm their ancestor. Wei Xiaofan's face darkened. WW is weak? She was from the He family team, yet she had the cheek to say that WW was weak? Was this woman joking? Suddenly, Lin Yan seemed to recall something. She raised her voice and said, "Hold on. Speaking of racing. Young Master Wei, have you forgotten something?" Wei Xiaofan frowned impatiently. "What? I remember you posting on Weibo, that if I win, you will run around naked?" Lin Yan grinned at him. Wei Xiaofan's face turned as black as the bottom of a pot. "You shameless woman. You've finally exposed yourself. You really are after this young master's body." Lin Yan was speechless. Her little fan's paranoia seemed to have worsened. Soon, the promotional event for meeting one's match began, and the main cast and crew went on stage one after another. The male lead, Pei Nanxiu, and the female lead, Jiang Xifei, were undoubtedly the center of attention. They were also the first to go on stage. The host enthusiastically asked some questions about the movie and told them about the fun things that had happened during filming. Prior to this, the production team had never mentioned Lin Yan. However, the host's questions today seemed to be directed at Lin Yan, who was a hot topic. Because the event was a live broadcast, the host also selected a lot of questions from fans online. Most of the comments were from fans who had confessed to Pei Nanxiu. Other than that, the rest were asking when Lin Yan and Wei Xiaofan would go on stage. As for the female lead, Jiang Xifei, almost no one was interested in her. Most of the comments were about her disappointing performance in the movie. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 410. Am I the only one who thinks that Jiang Xifei's performance doesn't match her title of Best Actress? The female lead is just a vase. Upstairs, you are not alone. Based on Jiang Xifei's looks, she wouldn't even qualify to be a vase. He was killed by Lin Yan in seconds. I used to have a good impression of Jiang Xifei and thought that she was reliable. However, ever since she moved to a new company, I feel that her style has changed. Even her face has changed. It seems like she has undergone plastic surgery many times. She used to have such a high-class face, but now she looks like an internet celebrity. I wonder what she's thinking. Jiang Xifei glanced at the comments on her phone from the corner of her eye. Her stiff face froze even more after her plastic surgery. In the past, when she was with Zhao Hongling, she took the route of strength. Although she wasn't very popular, almost all the comments about her online were positive. This was the first time she faced so many doubts. The next couple to appear on stage is your favorite couple in the series, Lin Pianruo and Fang Canyang. Let's welcome them. Wei Xiaofan and Lin Yan strode out from backstage. The fans at the scene, especially those who were fans of the novel, screamed excitedly when they saw the two of them. The fans in front of the live broadcast also began to crazily spam the bullet screen. Lin Yan was dressed in a simple black gown, while Wei Xiaofan was dressed in the same style as Fang Canyang in the movie. He was wearing a white t-shirt and casual pants, looking youthful and radiant. The scene of the two walking side by side was very pleasing to the eye. Many fans, who had objected to Lin Yan and Wei Xiaofan acting as a couple, had become fans of the couple after watching the movie. Jiang Sifei had never expected that Lin Yan would become so popular just because she was a supporting actress. Ah! Pianruo. Queen Pianruo. Today, I will also cry at the beautiful love of my CP. What kind of immortal couple is this? I'll blow it up. KSWL, thanks. Thank you. The fans of the book will kneel and thank you. After being criticized for so long, Lin Yan wasn't used to hearing the fans' excited cheers. At this moment, the fans in front of the bullet screen were also spamming. Who designed Lin Yan's new look? It was simply amazing. Why hadn't he known that Lin Yan was so good at fighting? Did she go for plastic surgery? She's doing so poorly. She probably doesn't have the money for plastic surgery, right? When Lin Yan had first debuted, she had become popular because of her looks. Don't you remember the photo that went viral on the internet? It was the one leaning against the car. Judging from his facial features, he didn't seem to have undergone plastic surgery. The way I see it, it's not that her style is successful this time, but that her previous team was too trashy. The character they had created for her was too detestable. On the contrary, after she started to let go of herself recently, she has become much more pleasing to the eye. She looks good even in loose sportswear. Many fans chimed in and agreed with this comment. Everyone was eagerly anticipating the couple's appearance. Jiang Sifei's face darkened when she realized that Lin Yan had taken over her territory. After all the crew members had arrived, the host turned to Jiang Yiming and asked with a smile, "Director Jiang, there were some twists and turns in the early stages of our movie. The reviews online and the theaters weren't that great, but in the end, we managed to turn the tides. Were you worried about that, Director Jiang?" Hearing this, Jiang Yiming nodded. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. But, I believe that the audience has eyes and will watch for themselves. Chapter 411. I heard that Director Jiang was the one who didn't delete Lin Yan's scenes despite the pressure from the public. That's how we got to watch such an exciting movie. I'm sure all the fans are grateful to Director Jiang. Actually, I didn't think much of this movie until I watched it myself. I watched it 3 times yesterday. The host replied. The host's eyes trailed to Lin Yan. Miss Lin Yan, after the movie was released, there were many negative comments about you. Did you lose confidence in the movie? Lin Yan grinned and replied, "Of course not. I believe that there aren't many celebrities in the country who are as bad-mouthed as me. The fact that the movie was able to become a hit even though I was so bad-mouthed is a testament to its quality." Haha. Miss Lin Yan, it seems like you love to badmouth yourself. Today, when I met you, I realized that you don't match the rumors. The host chuckled. The host knew that Lin Yan wasn't just a fan of the movie. Hence, he started to ask questions about her. The host asked, "Miss Lin Yan, we gathered a lot of questions from the netizens. One of them was that you seem to be acting more freely recently. You've been dressing more casually. What's the reason for that? Lin Yan pondered for a moment before she replied, I guess I'm poor. The host was speechless. The fans were speechless. The host chuckled and added, Miss Lin Yan, you're really humorous. However, you have a good foundation, so you look good in casual clothes. Lin Yan grinned. It's good to wear casual clothes. If I get chased by haters, it'll be easier for me to escape. The host was speechless. The fans were speechless. The host said, everyone knows that you've attracted a lot of negative comments because of your scandals. After you joined Meeting One's match, many fans are worried that you'll tarnish their idol. What do you think? This was a sharp question. The MC wanted to create a topic of conversation, so she was very direct with her words. Lin Yan grinned nonchalantly and scanned the fans. Actually, I don't understand what the fans are worried about. Do they lack confidence in their idol? Are they blind enough to fall for me? The host was speechless, the fans were speechless, Pei Nanxiu was speechless, Wei Xiufeng was speechless. The host was experienced, but this was the first time she had met an artist like Lin Yan. Every time, she would be rendered speechless. However, Lin Yan's answers would always defuse the crisis. The atmosphere was livened up by Lin Yan's answers, and the fans were all laughing and joking. Then, the host picked a question from the bullet screen and read it out on the spot. Lin Pianruo and Fang Canyang are such a good couple. It was a pity that they didn't have many scenes together, and they didn't even hold hands. Not to mention hugs and kisses. Aren't there any scenes in the movie that are slightly more restrictive? Deleted footage is fine too. One of my friends said she wanted a kangkang. Chapter 4:12. Lin Yan was speechless. Hee, a friend of yours wants to take a look? My boyfriend is watching too. She didn't want to die yet. It seems like everyone really likes this couple. What do the both of you think? The host glanced at Lin Yan and Wei Xiufeng as he asked. Jiang Yiming stepped forward to help them out. They didn't cut out any scenes. That was all that was shown. We respected the original work and followed the original script. Soon, the promotional event ended. Meeting One's match's production team had just left when they heard a commotion at the entrance. It's the racing crew. Wei Xiufeng muttered softly to himself as he watched the crowd. Wei Xiufeng had been keeping an eye on the filming of Legend. Wei Xiufeng was a racing fanatic. Furthermore, Yeva would be playing the role of the racetrack's Grim Reaper in Legend. Hence, Wei Xiufeng paid extra attention to her. At this stage, the racetrack's Grim Reaper hadn't been chosen yet. However, Lin Shuya and Qiao Keshuan were likely candidates for the role. Although Qiao Keshuan and Lin Shuya were reputable actresses in the industry and he was friends with Lin Shuya, Wei Xiufeng felt that they weren't suitable for Yeva's role. In fact, he felt that anyone who played Yeva would be a blasphemy against his goddess. Do you know about Legend? Lin Yan's eyes trailed to Wei Xiufeng as she asked softly. Wei Xiufeng replied angrily, of course. My goddess will be in this movie. Of course I know about it. Lin Yan was speechless. She had almost forgotten about that. The filming of the movie has been completed overseas and in China. We are only waiting for the actress to play Yeva. Wei Xiufeng stared at Lin Yan intently. Recently, Lin Yan had been keeping an eye on the filming of Legend. She had a rough idea that the movie was nearing its final stages. Only Yeva's part had yet to be completed. Before Lin Yan could respond, a young man in a blue shirt with a buzz cut strode into the hall. A commotion broke out at the sight of the man. Lang Mang's disciple, a professional racer, Zhou Qiao. The production crew of Legend couldn't contact Yeva, so they contacted Lang Mang, hoping that he could give his opinion on the casting. However, Lang Mang had to prepare for the competition, so he asked his apprentice, Zhou Qiao, to come to the country with the production crew to help Yeva. Other than Zhou Qiao, there were two other middle-aged men in casual suits. They were the director and producer of Legend. Lin Shuya was wearing a champagne-colored gown. She had a smile on her face, and she looked graceful and elegant. The other girl beside Zhou Qiao was wearing a V-neckline beige suit with an elegant little lapel. She looked very intellectual. Qiao Kechuan was different from Lin Shuya. Qiao Kechuan was more intellectual and had the demeanor of a tough queen. Even though she was on the same stage as Lin Shuya, her aura didn't lose out. Lin Shuya's eyes darted to Lin Yan, who was surrounded by the crew. Her eyes gleamed. Not too long ago, Lin Yan had been nothing more than an ant that she could crush any time she wanted. However, in just one night, she had turned over a new leaf. P.S. A new function has been released recently. It can be set up in the background to automatically draw the reader's donation tokens. I will try it out later. The system will draw the tokens automatically. Chapter 413. Sister, what a coincidence. Lin Shuya concealed the sinister glint in her eyes as she greeted Lin Yan with a smile. Before Lin Yan could respond, Wei Xiufeng stepped forward and quipped, I heard that you're going to star in Legend. Lin Shuya noticed that Wei Xiufeng had initiated a conversation with her, so she replied warmly, yeah, it's been confirmed. Wei Xiufeng frowned. You're sure? What role? Lin Shuya pretended to be in a dilemma. I can't reveal it yet. Then, she changed the topic. However, I can tell you. Qiao Kechuan is probably going to be Lang Mang's girlfriend, so I should be playing the other role. The director thinks that the other role is more suitable for me. Lin Shuya glanced in Lin Yan's direction as she spoke. Although she hadn't said it out loud, it was obvious enough. There were two unconfirmed roles for Legend. Since Qiao Kechuan was going to be Lang Mang's girlfriend, wouldn't the role of Yeva belong to Lin Shuya? Although Lin Shuya didn't sound like she was absolutely certain, her words sounded like they were close to the truth. Lin Yan raised an eyebrow but didn't say anything. Wei Xiufeng, on the other hand, seemed to have a bigger reaction than her. He frowned and said, how could they decide on such an important role so hastily? Did they research Yeva's life? Lin Shuya's expression changed slightly when she heard Wei Xiufeng. However, she regained her usual elegance and replied gently, Xiufeng, I know that you like Yeva a lot. However, don't worry. The director thinks highly of this role, so I have done a lot of preparation. If I manage to clinch the role, I'm confident that I won't disappoint everyone. Lin Shuya grinned at Lin Yan. Sister, since you like racing so much, you should admire Yeva too, right? I saw your name on the list of candidates. Do you want to play this role as well? Lin Shuya knew that Lin Yan would never be able to race again, yet she had deliberately mentioned racing in front of her. She had mentioned Yeva, who was the legend and idol of the racing industry. She was clearly trying to stab Lin Yan in the heart. I admire her. Lin Yan lowered her eyes and grinned. That's right. I admire her a lot. She's the person I love, admire, and respect the most. She also admired herself quite a lot. There was nothing wrong with that. Wei Xiufeng's expression darkened when he heard this. Are you kidding me? This woman actually wanted to act as Yeva? Even Lin Shuya would be better than this woman, right? No. It didn't matter who it was. Wei Xiufeng was about to speak when his assistant pulled him back. Brother Feng. Brother Feng, hurry up and leave. We still have work to do. It's too late. The assistant looked anxious. This young master always acted rashly when it came to Yeva. He had criticized her in front of the production crew and even questioned the casting. Wasn't he looking for trouble? Wei Shufeng snorted unwillingly as his assistant tried to stop him. Lin Yan was about to leave when Lin Shuya suddenly whispered, "Sister, I heard that your movie was a hit. I haven't had the chance to congratulate you." Lin Yan glanced at Lin Shuya nonchalantly. "There's no hurry. You will have plenty of opportunities to congratulate me in the future." Lin Shuya's face darkened. He. You're so naive. I hope you'll always have such good luck." Chapter 4:14. She reached the backstage. Lin Yan packed her things and was about to leave when producer Feng Anhua approached her with a beaming smile. "Lin Yan. Wait a minute. Producer Feng?" Lin Yan halted. "What's the matter?" Feng Anhua replied, "Lin Yan, you played a huge part in our movie's success. I asked the finance department to give you a huge red packet. Check your bank account later." Lin Yan's eyes lit up. "A huge red packet?" Feng Anhua nodded. "Yeah, it should be more than 6 figures. More than 6 figures? Wouldn't that be hundreds of thousands of yuan?" Lin Yan felt as though Feng Anhua had become much taller. She thanked him sincerely. "Thank you. Thank you, Producer Feng. Producer Feng, you are my bol ma, my mentor in life. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have achieved what I have today. You're too polite. I'm just doing my job well. It's all because of the strategy of a Zhuge Kongming like you that our film can sell well at the box office and prosper day by day." Feng Anhua stood there in a daze. He had almost fainted from Lin Yan's flattery. Lin Yan had always kept a low profile and seldom spoke. Who would have thought that she would be so eloquent? Even though he knew that Lin Yan was trying to suck up to him, he was still elated. Although Feng Anhua had insisted on removing her scenes, Lin Yan didn't have any special feelings for him. In his position, Feng Anhua had never had a position of his own. He would always stand where his interests lay. Lin Yan had been working for a long time and had been through a lot. She had never been an inflexible person. In that case, she would treat him with the same attitude. Ha 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 ha. Feng Anhua was in a good mood. "Lass, you sure know how to talk." Feng Anhua fell silent for a moment before he glanced at Lin Yan. "Oh yeah. Lin Yan, do you have any plans? I heard that you've terminated your contract with Star Entertainment. Then who's in charge of your work arrangements now?" Lin Yan replied, "Yeah, I've terminated my contract. However, my manager is still Sister Ling. She's still in charge." Feng Anhua nodded. "Zhao Hongling is indeed a good manager. You have better foresight than Jiang Sifei." Feng Anhua paused for a moment before he continued, "But, you and Zhao Hongling no longer have an emergency agency. I'm afraid your future development won't be as smooth as it used to be. From what I know, the reason why our film had such a bad reputation before it was released was because there were a lot of people plotting against you." "Thank you, Producer Feng. I understand." Lin Yan knew that Feng Anhua was reminding her on purpose, so she thanked him sincerely. Feng Anhua looked at the girl in front of him and suddenly understood Jiang Yiming's feelings. Moreover, he always felt that this girl was not simple. Her footsteps would not stop here. At this time, helping her and accumulating some connections was just a small effort for him. Hence, Feng Anhua asked, "Oh yeah, do you have a boyfriend?" Feng Anhua's sudden question almost caused Lin Yan to sprain her waist. She hastily steadied herself and replied, No. Producer Feng, why are you suddenly asking this? Chapter 4:15. Feng Anhua grinned at Lin Yan. Lin Yan, if you don't have a boyfriend, I can introduce one to you. Lin Yan was speechless. Why had Feng Anhua become a matchmaker? The rest of the crew had left, so Lin Yan and Feng Anhua were the only ones left in the lounge. That was why Feng Anhua could talk to Lin Yan. However, they didn't know that, in one of the cubicles, there was someone sitting in Pei Nanxiu's private dressing room. Pei Nanxiu was waiting for Lin Yan, so he hadn't left yet. His brother, Pei Yucheng, was sitting on the couch in his makeup room. As a professional cover, Pei Nanxiu had brought Pei Yucheng to his makeup room to wait for Lin Yan. He hadn't expected to hear such a conversation. Pei Nanxiu looked as though he had lost all hope in life. He glanced nervously at the man on the couch. Pei Yucheng was dressed casually with a pair of gold-rimmed glasses. He leaned against the couch lazily, looking expressionless. Pei Nanxiu instinctively glanced at the watch on Pei Yucheng's wrist, afraid that it would ring in the next second. What if Lin Yan said something she shouldn't? Unfortunately, he was right under Big Brother's nose, so there was no way he could inform Lin Yan. The soundproofing wasn't good, so Lin Yan and Feng Anhua's voices could be heard clearly. Feng Anhua turned to Lin Yan and said, "Lass, don't treat me as a pimp. If I introduce a man to you, he won't be too bad. Besides, it will be a legitimate relationship. After all, you have to know that it's hard to survive in this industry without connections and a strong backing, especially in your current situation. Don't think that you can sit back and relax just because you're a supporting actress. You can become famous overnight, but you can also become cold overnight. Based on what I know, the boss of Star Entertainment isn't easy to deal with. He might have let you go previously, but now that you've become so popular, do you think he will let you off so easily?" Lin Yan knew that Feng Anhua was telling the truth. Ahem. "Thank you, Producer Feng. I will be careful. I don't need a boyfriend. I just want to work hard. I don't have any plans to have a boyfriend." Lin Yan rejected him. If she had gone on a blind date behind his back, she would have to be tired of living. Feng Anhua raised his eyebrows. How could a girl your age not want a boyfriend? Besides, you have good qualities and good looks, so you have a lot of choices. You can tell me what kind of man you like. I might not be good at other things, but I have a lot of connections. Just tell me your type, and I might be able to introduce you to someone you like." Lin Yan found it hard to reject Feng Anhua's kindness. She felt a headache coming on as she replied, Actually, I don't have any special requirements. It all depends on your feelings. As long as it felt right. As long as it's someone I like, I will unconditionally trust and give everything to him. But there's a matter of principle that is very important." "Feng Anhua, what problem? Tell me." Lin Yan replied, "If you want me to spend money, I can't spend more than 100 yuan. I don't like materialistic men." Feng Anhua, Pei Nanxiu, who was in the cubicle, was speechless. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit the website. Chapter 4:16. Feng Anhua's expression was indescribable. After some time, he snapped back to his senses and quipped, "Ahem. Usually, you don't have to spend money. Men are the ones who spend money." Lin Yan shook her head and analyzed the situation solemnly. No. If we were dating, I would definitely split the bill. Besides, if I were to go on a date, I would have to put on makeup, right? Foundation, eyeshadow, fake eyelashes, lipstick, blush, cream, lotion. Kendi would have to put on a full set of makeup. How much would it cost? Lin Yan looked as though she was really being stingy. She didn't look like she was being perfunctory at all. She was really stingy. Feng Anhua was speechless. Pei Nanxiu was speechless. Lin Yan replied, "Producer Feng, don't you think what I said makes sense? That's why dating is so expensive. I really don't want to date at all." Feng Anhua glanced at the bag in Lin Yan's hands. The only way to solve one's worries was to get rich overnight. Actually, he had expected that Lin Yan would reject him. However, he hadn't expected that she would reject him because of this. Her reason for not dating was indeed a refreshing one in the entertainment industry. In the end, Feng Anhua gave up on this idea as he listened to Lin Yan's incessant chatter about the accounts. Lin Yan heaved a sigh of relief after Feng Anhua left. She was about to leave when she heard a creak behind her. The cubicle door had opened. Instinctively, Lin Yan turned around and saw Pei Nanxiu standing at the door. Behind him was Pei Yucheng. Lin Yan was speechless. Why was Pei Yucheng here? Didn't he have overheard Feng Anhua's proposal to introduce a boyfriend to her? Didn't he overhear her when she said that she didn't want to date? Mr. Pei. Why are you here? Lin Yan smiled awkwardly, looking as though the end of the world had come. Pei Yucheng replied, "I'm here to pick you up." Lin Yan replied, Sorry to trouble you. Actually, I can go home myself." Pei Yucheng glanced at the girl with a faint smile. "You don't like materialistic men?" Lin Yan was speechless. Pei Yucheng asked, "You don't want to date?" Lin Yan was speechless. Sure enough, he heard it. Holy shit. Why didn't Mr. Pei send her a message? Pei Nanxiu rubbed his nose helplessly when he met Lin Yan's aggrieved gaze. How would he dare to play tricks under his brother's nose? Lin Yan looked bitter as she racked her brain for an explanation. Pei Yucheng glanced at her and said unhurriedly, "Actually, there is a solution." Huh? Lin Yan was startled. What solution? Pei Yucheng met the girl's confused eyes and said slowly, "Marry me." Lin Yan was speechless. Lin Yan was almost scared to death. Ahem. What? What did you say? Even Pei Nanxiu, who was standing by the side, choked and coughed repeatedly. Pei Yucheng replied calmly, "After we get married, we don't need to split the profits. As for the money, there won't be a division between us. You'll be in charge of all my assets." Lin Yan was speechless. Big boss. This was too much. You can't do this. The richest man in the country was standing in front of her and telling her to marry him. She would be in charge of all his money. Who could stand this? Meanwhile, in the small theater, Pei Yucheng replied, "Marry me. All my money will be yours." Lin Yan replied, "I'll marry you." Second embarrassment typed. That's the end of the article. P.S. There will be a new chapter at midnight today. Chapter 4:17. In the face of such a powerful attack, Lin Yan was almost corrupted by money. She blurted out, "I'll marry you." Fortunately, she snapped out of it at the last moment. Lin Yan muttered to herself, trying to calm herself down. No. A gentleman loves money, but he has to earn it in the right way. No way. You can't reap without sowing. When Pei Yucheng heard the girl's muttering, he held her hand gently and said gently, "Miss Lin, you're being biased. You obtained this method legitimately." The man's voice was bewitching and irresistible. Lin Yan's confidence crumbled again. She had been brainwashed by him and felt that he was right. If she married him, she would have obtained it legitimately. Fortunately, Zhao Hongling's sudden call interrupted the conversation and saved her. Let me answer the call." Lin Yan, who felt as though a weight had been lifted from her shoulders, scrambled to the side to answer the call. "Hello, Sister Ling. Everything went smoothly. You don't have to come and pick me up. I can go home on my own." A lot of companies have approached us recently. I have also received some books. I'll sort them out and send them to you. Alright, no problem. Thank you for your hard work, Sister Ling. At the same time, in Du Pengsheng's office on the top floor of Star Entertainment, Du Pengsheng glanced at the trending topics on Weibo. Lin Yan's name had occupied a few spots, and the box office sales for Meeting One's match had skyrocketed. Thanks to its reputation, it had risen to the top of the box office. Lin Yan's status had naturally risen along with it. Needless to say, many companies had approached her. Based on Lin Yan's popularity, she would definitely make a fortune. Du Pengsheng's face darkened when he saw Lin Yan's sudden outburst. Gao Zhiwei and An Qianqian, who were standing in the middle of the office, looked equally gloomy. Gao Zhiwei, you were the one who promised that Lin Yan wouldn't become popular and asked her to terminate the contract. Now, you've let go of a cash cow. You have to give me an explanation. Du Pengsheng smashed a stack of newspapers on Gao Zhiwei's head in a fit of rage. At this moment, Gao Zhiwei's intestines were green with regret. If he hadn't terminated his contract with Lin Yan, she would have been his artist. He would have been able to make a fortune with her popularity. He had helped An Qianqian pull some strings and gotten so many resources. However, the popularity of Lin Yan's role couldn't compare to that of a supporting actress. An Qianqian was jealous and angry at the same time. Initially, she had wanted Lin Yan to help her deal with the investor. Who would have thought that this unknown person would become so popular overnight? One of the advertisers who had wanted her to be their spokesperson had gone to look for Lin Yan instead. The more Du Pengsheng thought about it, the angrier he got. 7 days. Only 7 more days. If he had known earlier, he would have waited for the 3-month deadline to be up. Things wouldn't have ended up like this. Gao Zhiwei, I kicked Zhao Hongling out and brought you up. Is this what you want to show me? I think you can't even compare to Zhao Hongling's little finger. Trash. Du Pengsheng had no idea that Zhao Hongling's little artist, who had a bad reputation, had actually become famous. If they had followed their agreement and waited for 3 months, given Zhao Hongling's current popularity, she would have been able to help Zhao Hongling achieve her goal of topping the sales charts within 3 months. Chapter 418. It was a pity that Gao Zhiwei couldn't wait to chase Zhao Hongling away, while Du Pengsheng didn't care about Zhao Hongling and Lin Yan, who had lost all their value. He had let Lin Yan, the cash cow, go a few days. Just a few days more. Now, the entire industry was waiting for him to make a fool of himself. They were saying that he had been blind to terminate his contract with Lin Yan at this critical juncture. How could he not be angry? They had even used their official accounts to announce that they had terminated Lin Yan's contract. There was no way they could take back their words. Gao Zhiwei, who had been scolded, bowed and apologized profusely. President Du, please calm down. Calm down. So what if Lin Yan is famous now? She has no backing or background. Even if she wants to jump ship, no big company would want her. It's too easy for me to deal with her. Everything is under my control. President Du, don't worry. I have a way to make her come back. Du Pengsheng snorted coldly. That better be the case. Gao Zhiwei's eyes gleamed with malice. He had seen plenty of artists like Lin Yan. She shouldn't think that she could escape his clutches just because she was famous. No way. He wasn't Zhao Hongling, who would be so soft-hearted as to let an artist like Jiang Xifei go so easily. At Cloud Manor, Lin Yan had asked Zhao Hongling and confirmed that she could finally go online. Thus, Lin Yan, who had been holding back for a few days, logged on to Weibo and posted, "Did I get rich today?" Nope. In the past, there would be hundreds of comments on Lin Yan's Weibo, and every single one of them was cursing and sarcastic. After this Weibo post was posted, the style of the comments was like this: F***ck. Sister, we've been waiting for you to post this for so many days. In the end, it's this again? Can't you change to another post? I'm looking forward to the stills. Where are the stills? Shouldn't you be taking advantage of the popularity to post some stills? Ahem. How badly does Lin Yan want to get rich? There was nothing on this account. Every Weibo post was the same. When we scolded her, she pretended not to see it and never replied. Even when she saw anti-fans cursing her to never have a man for the rest of her life, she did not react at all. In the end, someone cursed her that she would never be able to get rich overnight. She immediately jumped out and replied with 2 words, rebound, ha 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 ha. Have you guys realized that Lin Yan's style has changed drastically since a few months ago? She's been letting herself go. It's said that all of her itineraries were arranged by her assistant. Later, her assistant resigned, and from then on, she started to change her style. She hasn't been causing trouble for a long time. Also, in today's live broadcast of the promotional event, the host interviewed her. In fact, her personality is quite likable. At that time, the questions were drawn on the spot, and there was no advance preparation. She answered them all by herself. Due to the popularity of the movie, the comments on Lin Yan's Weibo page had become much friendlier. In the past, most of them had been scolding her. Now, there were more jokes and even some comments that had changed sides. Of course, there were still a large number of deep-rooted haters. What the hell? Isn't it just a supporting role? It was only a few minutes. Yet, she has become so popular. First, she dragged Pei Nanxiu along with her. Then, she dragged Wei Xiaofan along with her. Now, she dragged Han Yishuan along with her. How is this not causing trouble? A dog can't change its spots, alright? With her current situation, although she was temporarily famous, her previous reputation was deeply rooted. Basically, big companies would not want her, and small companies were also watching. If they wanted to re-sign with a company, they had very little choice. They were certain that she and Zhao Hongling had nowhere to go, which was why they were so generous. Zhao Hongling noticed Gao Zhui's attitude and knew that there was no need to talk further. I'm sorry, Director Gao. We can't agree to your terms. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.